Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play Ostranauts. This is my season 2 of Ostranauts, and we are in the process of flipping a ship. Now here's my main ship, and then here's the ship that we started to build out. Kind of stripped it down to its floorboards, literally, and starting to build. I'm going to put wall along here, and that's where we're going to try to get to today. I don't think it'll be a big problem. We have plenty of walls to work with. And I'm going to start hauling this up here. We'll see what we can do. Now, ship value is determined by a few different things. I think size of ship and the components it's made of and their condition are all certainly factors. But also there are room multipliers. Depending on the types of rooms you have, you get well, it's a multiplier. You get additional funding for having particular rooms. If you're curious what that looks like, you can go to the wiki site for Ostranauts, and there's a page called, I think it's called Room, might be called Room Multiplier. I don't remember exactly, but there's a page out there on rooms that kind of explains to you how that works. So please take a look at that if that's something you're interested in. I'm not going to focus on that with what I'm working on here, but I am going to pay attention to it if that makes any sense. I guess what I mean is I'm not going to min-max it, but I am going to refer to it to see if I can do little optimizations to improve the value of the ship. We will definitely make a bridge, for example, and we'll probably have like an engineering bay or something like that. But beyond that, we'll just see how it plays out. We will use it to fine tune what we do in the game. So, oops, one too many. Didn't mean to do that one. This is wall that we want to cancel, not that one. Yeah, is that 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? That's going to be way more than 16, but that's okay. He will, once he starts walking back and forth, I will cancel his auto task and go pick up some more flooring for him to use. Ah, there's only one short, so not too bad. And that one was right there, so I guess I was too short. Okay, let's drop off the cart. That will help. He just needs to go and grab one more of those. And then he'll start to install that set. All right, letting it rip. Now I'm using the 55 series walls for the external, and then on the internal side, I'll probably use the 50. What is it? Is it the 55 series? Now I can't even remember. It is the 44 series. So 55 series is what we have, and then 44 series will be the internal walls. That's what I tend to do on my ships. I just like the look of it. It looks more like a metal hull on the outside. I'm not sure that spaceships will ever be quite this blocky, so I'm not really going for a realism thing. Okay, and that's the first batch there, and he will fix those walls as he goes. The other thing we will want to inject into here is conduit, and we'll come back for that in a minute. You know what? I'm going to slow things down. We're going to pick this up, and I'm going to, instead of grabbing the other cart altogether, we're just going to go around and pick up wall pieces and drop onto the cart and use those when I find them. Here's one down here, there's a bunch right here. So just a matter of grabbing them. I might be able to shift click those, come to think of it. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I didn't think that was going to work, but it does. This was wall, if I recall. So I'm sorry, floor. I will eternally get those backwards while playing Ostranauts and use the wrong word when I mean, use one word when I mean the other. I am certain of it. It will be every time I try to talk about them. So I hope you'll bear with me on that. running over here into the future reactor room. Got a bunch of pieces of floor sitting around. Can't pick it up off the actual floor though. You got to do it that way. So, okay. So 16 more pieces. We will come up here, start to install that. There we go. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That should be 16. And there we go. So he's jumping right on that. I know what I was thinking about. I was going to look into hiring a worker, and I forgot to do that while I was in the station. That was part of the reason I was going to go back before the battery ran out. So I probably should go back and reconsider that as well. Now I think what I'd like to do at this point, I'm going to go grab some conduit next. One of these crates had a lot of conduit in it. It wasn't that one. Or that one. Or that one. There we go. All right. Pick that up. Let's go lay in some conduit here. Don't have a battery installed yet, but we can do that pretty quickly. So install conduit, well, power, and then I just don't specify. I use the generic, and I think it's not letting me do that. I'm wondering if it's because he's in the other room. Let's bring him in closer. I have seen that a couple of times. Pausing it. Install power conduit. There we go. And then what I'm thinking is I'll toss a couple of lights on here so we have some visibility into what's going on. That should get us started. There he goes. Conduit installs really quick, but a lot of this needs to be repaired, I would think. So he might spend a little time doing that as well. But we'll put some lights out there and we'll have some idea of what the dimensions of the ship are. I can't quite tell how far out I did wall versus floor. This looks like maybe wall only went to there. Again, I know this isn't symmetrical. It wasn't really intended to be, but I haven't fully decided what I want it to look like yet either. So maybe have a room with, well, a mechanical room, right? Engineering effectively, and a cargo hold, a bridge, maybe a relaxation area. I don't know if we'll put a bed on this one. Might be something to consider though. I think the quarters multipliers are pretty good. Okay, so that's all of those. And then we have lights. I think they were in here. There's a couple of lights. But honestly, that's not a whole lot, is it? I'm going to need to maybe come back. But we also have conduit in here, and I'm seeing we ran out of conduit over here, so that's a shiftable thing too. We'll do that. 25 more. It's not going to make it all the way around, but it'll kind of start to get us there. And I don't have a battery installed yet. Let's go ahead and drag one out there. I have 1, 2, I think 3, 4. Yep. Let's get them out of the doorway here. So pick that one up. And we'll do an install right there. It doesn't want to let me do that. Again, I think it's because he's not in the same ship. So that's something to keep in mind. That's only going to light half of it. I don't have conduit down there. We could do that though. That's not going to be a problem. So let's try this again. Right there. And that's not going to be the permanent location. This is just temporary working setup. Once he's got that in, we're going to put a light on the wall. Do the same over here, although I need to put conduit in across there. I usually do it wherever the door is going to go. 1, 2, 3. So I guess technically the door could go there. So maybe we shoot it across there. I'm just going to put it here for now. It's easy enough to remove, right? Install power, conduit. Boom, boom, boom. Go. Take him a second to think about it. There he goes. And then once those are in, we'll put a light on the wall over here and be able to see better what we're doing. There he goes. Install right there. Lighten it up. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and install conduit on the rest of the wall where where I have wall in already, which is going to be there, and I think to there. Really, I could, come to think of it, I could do it all the way around. It wouldn't make a difference. The floor is already there. I'm not planning on moving any of that. And there's a piece of me that's thinking, I'm going to leave this footprint so that we remember how big the ship was when we started. Kind of get an idea of the mass and what that might look like when we go to sell, what the difference in the size of the ship is. So, okay, let's get back to doing some more walls. Yes, walls. And do I still have a whole lot of floor sitting around? I don't think I do. I don't have a full, well, I have lockers full of floor though too, don't I? Let's start unloading some of those. I'm going to leave that other cart alone because I just feel like I'm going to end up reloading it if I'm not careful from a timing perspective. We'll come down here and see what we got in some of these bins and racks. Not the wall I want. We're going to skip that one for now. There's some wall that I want. I do know I'm going to need more than 16 of them, so that's something to note. Won't be any in there. I think there was some there, but let's start up here first. Yeah. Oh, that's going to do it. So that's 16 of those. We still have this guy that we're going to set down. We don't need to carry him around right now. Put in a little bit more wall. That's 8. And that is 8. Which is 16, which is what we're carrying. So we're going to go with that. I missed what that message was. We're going to pause and see if we can catch that. Ship scan detected. Okay. Well, we should be fine. Assuming I'm holding my... I'm not. Well, I'm not. I own both these ships. I'm not salvaging, so I think we'll be fine. I have gotten in trouble where I don't have the actual ticket on me and it fines me. I didn't have that happen for quite a while. It happened here in build 14. So I am looking forward to getting back into the swing of putting some videos together, but I have to say that the winter break was very welcome. I used my time wisely, I think. I do have some projects that are coming up that I have to work on that might take away from getting a few videos out, but I've got a plan in place. I should be getting at least 2 of these out a week. I'm hoping for 3.5 a week is my actual plan. So 7 every 2 weeks is the goal. We will see if I reach that. Keep track, and yeah, there's not going to be prizes or anything if I do or don't, but it's the goal I'm going to strive for at this point. My wife and I help put on, for charities, we put on trivia nights. If you're in the Midwest of the United States, you probably know what that is. Other parts of the country and the world, my understanding is it's kind of hit and miss. But the idea is you get a table of, we usually do 8 people per table, and they come together and then we ask trivia questions. And the table that gets the most trivia questions right wins the night. Usually prizes or donations from organizations. Sometimes they're very nice things. We've seen one that was travel vouchers. I think we had a few $100s in travel vouchers from a major airline. It was one of the gifts that was ultimately given away to the first place table. And so when you win, you usually get prizes that are more than your entry fee is what it really comes down to. But the goal is really to just have fun. And so my wife and I put on those kinds of events for a few charities locally. And we've got one of those coming up. So I'm going to have to spend some time kind of prepping for that. And that's where I'm a little concerned with my time and how much I'll be able to put into Ostranauts. And I think what I wanted to see is that's where the wall's left. And I need more conduit too. So we'll get started on that. That's the bag ship, the bag one. What did I? Oh, you know what? That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go ahead and just grab this one. There was a method to my madness. I just started talking about other things, and as usual, forgot where I was. So I'm sure that happens to most of us, right? Slowing time down, and we're gonna do an install of hull. Series 55 wall. There's already wall there. So that's all we need. We'll have that done. Awesome. We'll go ahead and put in the rest of the conduit too then. There he goes. I'm realizing I probably want to leave one spot of wall open. I guess we can take it out later. I was going to say I want to leave one spot of wall open. Eventually we're going to have to put the antenna there. And it doesn't hurt to put some external lights if you can. I guess I could actually do all that now. Let's go ahead and let him work on, well, looks like he's done though. Most of that wall was in pretty good shape. I did spend some time on the period between seasons. I put wall on the floor in my ship. I would literally lay it out here. Oh, batteries are dead again. Outstanding. That just feels like that's going so fast. I don't feel like it was 12 hours that we spent out here. So I'm really curious what's going on there. I must be doing something differently than I was that's draining it. I'm going to look forward to looking back at the video and seeing how much actual time passed on the clock here. Has it been 24 hours? I don't think it's been that, has it? don't think it could be close to that. Anyway, time will tell. Why did I stop moving? Probably because I can't get in the airlock because the power's out. So we're going to have to pry that open. There we go. Turn on that switch. Go ahead and tell this to close. But yeah, that's alarming. And I'd already used a little bit of this battery, so that's something to consider. I'm going to need to go back. I only got 27 minutes left. Yeah, I'm really going to need to figure that out. Something's going on there that's chewing through power. Maybe it's the toe brace? I guess that's a possibility. Okay, well, I think what we'll do is we're going to have to go back and charge some more batteries. Looking like getting that reactor working is going to be important at this point. That will keep those batteries charged, of course, and I won't have to drop everything and run back. Curious if you have any thoughts on what I'm missing here, on why we're chewing through power. Like I said, though, I'm going to go back, look at the beginning of the video, see what time it was. I did look at the batteries before we got started, and they all said we had like 30 minutes, 3 hours of time. And my understanding was that that's not for the whole system, that's per battery. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Nonetheless, 1, 2, 3, currently have 4 batteries hooked up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 4 batteries should last more than 3 hours. But maybe it is more like 12, and that's what I'm running into. So, all right. Well, what we'll do is jump in. Oh, no, we can undock now. We're green. We're green over there. That's good. Bump this up. Jump into the comms center. Docking info. Request clearance to undock. And there we have it. Backing away. Love the sounds. Really, really do enjoy that. We're going to plot towards that guy just for bearing. And get going. So I only have 44 kilowatts of power left right now. That's something to consider. I'm not going to be able to waste a lot of time here. Yeah, I mean, that's not flying down. I do know I spend a lot of time at 16 speed. I know that when I'm installing walls and floors and things like that. So, you know, perhaps it's not entirely out of the question that I burn through that much, but you all probably already know the answer because I haven't been able to look at the rest of the video yet. So let's see. We'll give it another few seconds. So the good news is we're not tearing through battery right now. We've only used 2 kilowatts of what's left, kilowatt hours. So I'm pleased with that. And lining up. Not bad. Not bad at all. So what does it say? It says it has 2 hours left at this point. So connected to the other ship, I have to think it's the tow brace is really sucking through power. While we were connected, I'm pretty sure this battery said there was like 21 minutes left, which is why I was in a hurry. When the ships are connected, there was no power connection, just the tow brace was turned on. So I'm going to go with that. I think that must be what's using the power. We'll do a little test to see if that's the case, but for now, that's my working theory. And I can deal with that. That's going to be the planet, the asteroid is near, not that we've encroached on the station yet. So we can speed up again for a few seconds. And this time we got to pay attention. So come in here. Docking. Docking at OKLG. Slow down a little bit. Here we go. Not perfectly aligned, but not horrible. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll take that. We'll go with that. Getting close. There it is. And we're home. There it is. All right. The welcome sounds of redocking. Always a pleasure, right? So, okay. I want to check this one more time. We have 1 battery, 2, 3. We have our spare. That's 4. And we added this one, which is 5. I still have 2 that are intended for this ship, but that would have only given us another 50% of the time. So I don't know. Like I said, my working theory is the tow brace just absolutely blows through the power. No indicator there, but that's fine. All right, let's get our civvies on. There we go. Helmet as well, and then we can kind of run around the station. I might take a minute to let him blow off some steam. He hasn't gotten to talk to people in a while. That's sometimes a big factor. So yeah, let's look at this. I know I had just gotten this right before the overall episode started. So 7 o'clock tonight. We've only been 12 hours, and that includes 1 stop for the battery. So yeah, I'm not really entirely certain what's going on there. Nonetheless, we are going to absolutely turn that off. Now drive me batty. And it's gone. But you know what? We're doing it anyway. Okay. Well, I think we will call it there. I'm going to run out here and power up. Might look around a little bit. Like I said, give him some time to blow off some steam. Yowzers. There we go. I will take a look at that, see if we can figure out what is causing the massive drain, but I think I've got a good working theory on that at this point. So we'll get back to the, what is that? The millennial conclusion. I think that's what it's called. We'll get out to the other ship and we will put in some flooring and start planning out what the walls and that will look like. Can start even getting things like the nav station installed, the transponder. Once the transponder's in, I'll feel really good. That's always a good step. And, oh, and the antenna. We're going to have to find a way to get to the outside. Cut a hole in the hull, I think, and just do it that way. Old school, right? And we might see if there's any fancy stuff we can kind of toss in there as well. I do want to try to get the reactor going now more than ever because of what I'm learning about the, again, working theory, but the towing brace. We will see. And so we may go and do some hunting, see if we can find a reactor with the shields. I think I have everything else, so that should be the last piece. And other than that, we will continue on this fun journey in Ostranauts. Thanks for your time, and until next time, fair travels.